Here's something they'll never admit to your face. Your salary, that comfortable number you negotiated so hard for, that direct deposit that hits every month like clockwork, it's not security. It's a cage. And the scary part, the bars are invisible. You can't see them until you try to leave. And by then, you're so deep in the trap, escape feels impossible. Well, that ends today because I'm about to expose the entire system step by step. No sugarcoating, no corporate speak, just the raw truth about how salaries trap people. Now I know what you're thinking, but I make decent money, I'm not struggling. Sure. You've got food on the table, a roof over your head, maybe even a car payment you can mostly afford. But answer this honestly. When was the last time you felt truly free? When did you last make a decision without checking your bank account first? See, that's the trap. It doesn't feel like poverty, it feels like almost enough. And almost enough is the most dangerous place to be, because you're comfortable enough not to panic but trapped enough never to escape. But here's what nobody tells you. Breaking out of the salary trap isn't about getting promoted, switching jobs, or grinding for that next 5% raise. The rich never escaped by climbing the corporate ladder. They escaped by seeing the ladder for what it really is. A distraction. So without wasting another second of your life, let's expose this trap across 12 brutal truths. Number 1, the golden handcuffs are real. Let me paint you a picture. You land that job. Maybe it's 50K, maybe it's 80K, maybe even 120K, doesn't matter. The number's irrelevant. What matters is what happens next. You sign the offer letter and immediately your lifestyle adjusts, not on purpose. It just happens. You move to a nicer place because you can afford it now. You finance a better car because you deserve it. You start eating out more because I'm too tired to cook after work. Within 6 months, your new salary isn't covering your new life. It's barely keeping pace. And suddenly you can't quit. Not because you don't want to, because you literally can't afford to. That's the trap. Your salary doesn't free you. It finances the lifestyle that requires the salary. It's a perfect loop. And corporate America designed it that way. Ever wonder why companies dangle benefits, 401k matches, health insurance, stock options? It's not generosity. It's retention strategy. The more your life is woven into that job, the more expensive it becomes to leave. Those aren't benefits. They're anchors. I knew someone who stayed at a job they hated for 7 years, not because they loved it. Because quitting meant losing health insurance for their kid. That's not a career. That's hostage negotiation, and that's exactly what leads us to truth number 2. Number 2, your raise is designed to keep you, not enrich you. Oh, you got a raise? Congratulations. Let me guess, 3%. Maybe 5% if you really impress them. Here's some math they hope you never do. Inflation this year, around 3 to 4%. Your rent increase, probably 5 to 8%. Your health insurance premium went up. Your grocery bill definitely went up. That streaming service you forgot you had also went up. So your 3% raise? That's not a raise. That's a cost of living adjustment disguised as appreciation. You're not getting ahead. You're treading water while they tell you you're swimming. And here's the kicker. That raise comes with strings. More responsibility, higher expectations, longer hours. They give you $3,000 more a year and expect $10,000 worth of extra work. That's not a promotion. That's a discount on your time. Think about it. Your boss gets a bonus based on keeping payroll costs low. HR celebrates when they retain talent at minimal cost increases. The entire system is built to give you just enough so you don't leave, but never enough to actually get ahead. It's like a treadmill that speeds up every time you start catching your breath. And speaking of treadmills, that brings us to brutal truth number 3. Number 3, trading time for money is a losing game. Here's the fundamental flaw with salaries. There's a ceiling. Doesn't matter how hard you work. Doesn't matter how many extra hours you put in. You can't make more than 24 hours of pay in a day. Period. Meanwhile, the CEO? Their wealth isn't capped by hours. It's multiplied by equity, ownership, and leverage. They make money while they sleep, while they vacation, while they're in meetings pretending to listen. You ever notice how the hardest working people you know aren't the richest? Construction workers, nurses, teachers. They work their bodies and minds to exhaustion. And most of them are still worried about bills. Because the system doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage. And when you're on salary, you have zero leverage. You're just renting out your time at a fixed rate while inflation and lifestyle costs eat into your margins. And before we go any further, most people watch videos like this, feel motivated for 15 minutes, then go right back to the hamster wheel the next morning. Don't be that person. We've created an entire series on breaking free from the salary trap and building real wealth. Go back, binge our recent videos, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss the strategies that actually work. All right, back to exposing the trap. Number 4, the benefits package is bait. Let's talk about that amazing benefits package they sold you on: health insurance, dental, vision, 401k match, free snacks in the break room. Sounds pretty sweet, right? Wrong, that's the bait. Here's what they don't tell you. Health insurance? They're paying less than you think, and the deductible is designed so you never actually use it unless something catastrophic happens. Meanwhile, your premiums come out pre-tax, which sounds good until you realize you're locked into their plan. 401k match? Great, except it vests over 3 years, and if you leave before that, you lose it. That's not generosity, that's a leash, PTO. Sounds amazing until you realize using it makes you look not committed. Or you're so buried in work that taking time off just means coming back to double the stress. The benefits aren't designed to enrich your life. They're designed to make leaving expensive and complicated. It's like a gym membership that charges you $200 to cancel. They know most people won't go through the hassle. I had a friend who stayed at a toxic job for 2 extra years just to hit her stock vesting schedule. By the time she got that money, she'd spent it on therapy for the stress the job caused. The benefits cost more than they paid, and that's exactly why truth number 5 is the most dangerous one. Number 5. Lifestyle inflation is a silent killer. You make more, you spend more. It's automatic, almost Pavlovian. New salary kicks in and suddenly that old apartment feels cramped. That old car feels embarrassing. Those budget vacations feel beneath you. You're not even trying to keep up with the Joneses, you just drift into it. But here's the trap within the trap. Every lifestyle upgrade comes with a subscription: nicer apartment, higher rent forever, nicer car, higher payment, insurance, maintenance, nicer restaurants, new normal. And before you know it, your bigger salary is gone before it even hits your account. You're making 40% more than you did 5 years ago, but somehow you're saving less. That's lifestyle inflation. And it's the reason people making $200K feel just as broke as people making $50K. The trap scales with your income. I once read about an NFL player who made $20 million in his career and went bankrupt within 3 years of retirement. How lifestyle inflation, mansions, cars, entourage. The salary disappeared, but the lifestyle bills didn't. That's the trap at every income level. Now, if lifestyle inflation is the silent killer, then truth number 6 is the hard reset. Number 6, you're one emergency away from disaster. This is the part that keeps people up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, doing mental math. Most people on salary live in what I call financial thin ice. Looks solid. Feels stable, but one crack and you're underwater. Car breaks down, $1,200. Medical emergency, $3,000 after insurance. Surprise tax bill, $2,500. Any one of those events can topple the whole house of cards. And here's the terrifying part. The higher your salary, the worse this gets, because your lifestyle inflated to match. So that $5,000 emergency fund you're proud of, it covers about 2 weeks of your actual lifestyle. According to studies, nearly 60% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. That's not a salary problem. That's a trap problem. Because salaries create the illusion of stability while building zero actual resilience. Think of it like building a house on sand. Looks great until the tide comes in. And the tide always comes in, which brings us to brutal truth number 7. Number 7, taxes eat the salary but spare the wealthy. Here's a fun fact that'll ruin your day. The more you make in salary, the more the government takes. But here's the twist. That only applies to earned income. You make $100K in salary, you're paying 24% federal plus state plus Social Security, Medicare. By the time it hits your account, it's more like $65K. Meanwhile, someone making $100K in capital gains, they're paying 15%. And someone making money through a business structure, they've got write-offs, deductions, and loopholes you've never even heard of. The tax code isn't designed to punish the rich. It's designed to punish the salaried, because salaries are easy to tax. They're predictable, documented, automatic, but wealth is slippery. It hides in LLCs, trusts, real estate depreciation, and carried interest. The ultra-wealthy don't take salaries. They take stock options, dividends, and long-term capital gains. And they pay less in taxes than their secretaries. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's just policy. And if you're stuck on salary, you're playing the game with the hardest tax burden. which is why truth number 8 hits even harder. Number 8, your skills depreciate faster than your car. Here's something nobody warns you about. That skill set you spent years building. It's got an expiration date. Tech changes, industries shift, AI comes in. And suddenly the thing you were an expert in 5 years ago is obsolete, but your salary still locked in at the old rate. Companies know this. That's why they love hiring young, cheap talent. They can pay them less, train them on the new tools, and phase out the expensive veterans. Your salary isn't rising with your experience. It's flat because they're waiting for you to become replaceable. And the worst part, you don't even see it coming. You think you're valuable, you've got seniority, relationships, institutional knowledge. Then one day they restructure, downsize, pivot, and you're out. I watched an entire department of 15-year veterans get replaced by a software subscription and 3 junior hires. The company saved millions. The veterans, they spent 6 months trying to find jobs that paid half what they used to make. Your skills aren't assets when they're tied to a salary. They're depreciating liabilities, and that's exactly why truth number 9 is critical. Number 9, the real cost is opportunity. Every year you stay in the salary trap, you're not just losing money, you're losing time. And time is the one thing you can never get back. Think about it. That job you've been at for 5 years, what if you'd spent those 5 years building a business, learning high-income skills, investing aggressively? The salary didn't just cost you the difference in income. It cost you the compounding growth of what you could have built instead. That's opportunity cost, and it's brutal. Let's say you're making $70K a year, comfortable, stable, safe. Meanwhile, someone else spent those same years freelancing, struggling, building. They made $40K year 1, $55K year 2, $85K year 3. By year 5, they're clearing $150K, working half the hours with total location freedom. The salary wasn't just lower income. It was a 5-year detour from freedom. That's the real cost, not what you make, what you didn't build, and this leads directly into truth number 10. Number 10, you don't own your time. Here's the ultimate test. Can you take next Wednesday off without asking permission? Can you leave at 2 p.m. because the weather's nice? Can you take a 3-month sabbatical without losing everything? If the answer is no, you don't own your time. Your employer does. And if they own your time, they own your life. Salary isn't freedom, it's rented time. You lease out 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And in return, they let you have weekends and 2 weeks of vacation you feel guilty taking. That's not a life. That's a subscription model. And the scary part, most people don't realize they're subscribed until it's too late. I know people who have worked 30 years at the same company. Solid salary, great benefits. Then they retire, and suddenly they realize they spent 3 decades building someone else's dream while their own dreams collected dust. Time is the only currency that matters, and salaries trade your time at a fixed, undervalued rate, which brings us to the mindset shift in truth number 11. Number 11, rich people don't have salaries. Look at any billionaire, any ultra-wealthy person. None of them got there on salary. Bezos, equity, Musk, ownership, Buffett, investments. They might take a symbolic $1 salary for optics, but their real wealth comes from assets they own, not time they trade. Because here's the secret, salaries cap you. Ownership multiplies you. When you own something, a business, real estate, intellectual property, stocks, you make money while you sleep, while you travel, while you're doing literally anything else. That's leverage. Salary is linear. 1 hour equals 1 unit of pay. Ownership is exponential. One asset can generate infinite returns. The ultra-wealthy aren't smarter than you. They're not working harder. They just stopped trading time for money and started building equity. And that shift changes everything, which brings us to the final and most important truth. Number 12, the trap is mental before it's financial. Here's the hardest truth of all. The salary trap isn't just about money, it's about identity. You've convinced yourself that you are your job title, you are your salary, you introduce yourself by what you do, not who you are. And that mental prison is harder to escape than the financial one. Because even if you could leave, even if you had the money saved, part of you is terrified. What would you be without the job, without the title, without the steady paycheck? That fear is the final lock on the trap. And until you break that mental barrier, no amount of money will set you free. I've seen people with $500K saved stay in jobs they hate because they can't imagine life without the structure. The identity, the safety blanket of employed. But here's the shift. You're not your salary, you're not your job title. You're a person with skills, creativity, and potential that extends far beyond a W-2. The moment you internalize that, the trap loses its power. Bottom line, the salary trap is real, it's designed, and it's kept millions of people stuck for decades. But here's the good news, now you see it. And once you see the cage, you can start planning your escape. So here's what I need from you. If this opened your eyes, if you're ready to start breaking free, type freedom in the comments right now. And when you're ready for the next step, the actual blueprint to escape, click this video right here. We're going to walk through the exact wealth building system that breaks the salary cycle forever. Click it now. Your future self will thank you.